This is the most effective and simple way that I'm going to explain on how to stay consistent in your diet and never cheat again on your diet. Okay, I'm going to say this in steps. So the first step of staying consistent on your diet and never cheating on it again is to stay away, is to cut out all the urges. So what are the urges? Let's say when you go and you look in the fridge, you see your egg, and then you see egg, you see your milk, you see your whatever, and then you see maybe jelly, for example, or like a sweet. So that will immediately make your mind think, oh, this is the most common thought, by the way. Oh, I don't. Why am I doing this to myself? Do I really need to do this to myself? Do I really need to not prevent myself from eating this just so I can get lean? Why don't I just eat it instead? But if you cut it out, if you don't buy the sweets at all, and in your fridge, and is only egg is only the thing that you're supposed to eat in your fridge, then you won't even have access to do it, and you won't even think about it, which will cause your brain to not cheat on your diet as much, to not you don't have any urges. Hot girl is in front of you and ask you for 100. Let's say you're a simp. A hot girl asks you for $100, and then you most likely to say yes to try and impress her and think you're going to get something out of that. But what happens all the time is you get nothing but a thank you. So in order to keep your $100, it will be easier if she wasn't there in the first place and you have nothing to simp over. So same thing with porn. If you don't go on if you don't what's the word, if you go on like Twitter, you're going on Twitter, you're going on TikTok, and then you're seeing girls like dancing and doing like sexualizing stuff, then you're more likely to go on Pornhub and masturbate. Same thing with your diet. If you have sweets in your fridge, if you have sweets on your counter, if you have sweets in your room, you're most likely to eat those sweets because they're in your vision. Your mind is more likely to draw you to eating that, if rather than if you cut that out and you didn't have it at all, you didn't see it at all, and you won't cheat on your diet that way. So step one is cut out all the bad stuff. Okay. Okay. The second step is eat a diet that you'll enjoy. What healthy foods did you enjoy the most? Most likely you enjoyed a fruit. Most likely you enjoyed meat. Most likely you enjoyed chicken. Most likely you enjoyed egg. So choose the diet that you're going to enjoy eating. Because if you work a job that you enjoy, you're more likely to be happier and stay consistent in that job, rather than if you work a dead end job, then you got paid more on this dead end job, and then you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel demotivated, you're going to feel miserable, you're going to feel sad. So do something that you like rather than something that you don't like. So do something that you like that achieves less result, and something that you don't like that achieves more results. Unless it's exercising, of course. You have to work hard at exercising. You don't like going to the gym. I like going to the gym. You get used to it. But you most likely starting in the gym, you don't like going to the gym. So you're going to want to, but this is for your diet. You're going to try, let's say you want to go on I'm trying to think of a good example for this. But you want to try and cut out all meat, for example, which I definitely do not recommend you do. And then it's hard. Okay, you can do that, but it's better. Okay, no, that's not a good example. But what I'm trying to say is basically, you enjoy meat, you enjoy vegetables. Let's say you enjoy chips. Instead of ordering McDonald's chips, you should make the chips yourself by cutting the potatoes and adding salt and adding good seasoning. So you're gonna eat meat, you enjoy meat. You're gonna eat vegetables. You're gonna add a little bit of vegetables, something that you don't enjoy, and you're gonna eat mostly what you enjoy, which is meat, for example. And then you put a little bit of vegetables, and yes. So eat what you enjoy, but that is healthy. Mostly. If you're trying to eat more vegetables, you have your steak here on this plate, and then you have a little bit of vegetables there. It's something. It's better than no vegetables. So eat what you enjoy. Try and add in a little bit of the things you don't enjoy. Okay. The next step is build consistency. Building consistency is like, it's not, don't misinterpret what I'm saying for building a streak. Consistency is you doing it more than you did it last year, last month, yesterday basically, or last week. So you go to the gym, you start the gym 1 day a week. You keep going 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. But you no, that is wrong, because let's say you're exercising for 1 hour for 1 day a week. You're not going to achieve much result from that. So you're going to go, instead, you're going to do 3 days a week, and you're going to do 20 minutes each gym session. This will build consistency. It's easier to do, it's easier to keep a routine on. When you want to read a book, you don't read one book a week, you read 2 pages every single night. That's easier. That's we can do it more. It'll build the habit of consistency. Same thing with your diet. You're gonna if you completely unhealthy throughout the week, try and be more healthier than you were the last week. So you're gonna start eating a good food 1 day. You're gonna start eating good food maybe 2 days a week, 1 day or 2 days, 3 days, and then you're gonna the rest of the week you eat whatever you want unhealthy, and then you're gonna try the next week. You can still keep staying 3 days. Then the following week you go 4 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, and then it's finished. The whole rest of the your life you can eat healthy now, because you build the habit of consistency. So yeah, that's the simplest way I could explain it. Okay, the next step is understanding diet is just important as exercising. So you can go. I heard of the story of this one guy. He was obese basically. He go to the gym for a whole year. Yes, he may have gotten strength. Yes, he may have gotten muscle mass, but he was still looking. He was still looking like where he started. People, wait, people go to the gym to usually to get a better physique, to look better. Some people do it athletically, like boxing and sports like soccer or basketball or volleyball. So it depends on your training for, but usually you came on this video because you wanted to look better, and you're just a normal guy or normal girl who wants to look better. So what you should do is understand that if you can go to the gym for 10 years straight and you can still won't have abs unless you lock in on your diet. You cut out the bad food. Diet is just as important as exercising. Sure, you can gain muscle with exercising, but the diet is the thing that complements the muscle. It shows it more. Um, Especially for a man, because body fat storage, a woman can still be sexy as fuck if she goes to the gym and she doesn't really focus on a diet, because the body fat distribution focuses on the attractive parts of the body, which is the glutes and the chest. But for a man, it stores mostly in your stomach, it stores on your face, and it stores in your arms, and it covers up the most attractive muscles that you can get. I'm not saying the woman watching my video should eat unhealthy. I'm saying that it's more severe for a guy to eat unhealthy because the fat distribution in his body is worse. That's the male disadvantage. So the most attractive muscles in a man is the abs, is the shoulders, is the chest, and it's the neck, and it's the back. So now fat storage is going to cover those spots. So that's why you need to focus on your diet, otherwise you're gonna still end up looking fat, but you may be stronger, but you're still gonna be have body dysmorphia. And the less fat that you have, the more attractive for a man. For women, you have to keep a steady amount of body fat. I'm not saying you do what you want. I'm not saying do I'm not forcing. I'm not saying that you should always listen to what I have to say. I'm saying like, but I'm giving you my not my it's the general verdict on how to look more attractive and appeal to everyone. But you should focus on you should be authentic to yourself and do what you like to do. So diet is just as important. You can go to gym for a whole year and you can still look fat if you keep eating bad food. So, and then you wonder why you can't lose your belly fat because you don't diet. You eat bad food, you drink milkshakes, you say, oh, I'm cheating on my diet this 1 day per week. You can do that, but as I said, you need to stop. You need to cut it down. Okay. The last step is have a motivation of knowing the result. The best thing, this is an experiment that I'm going to explain now, is of mice. You take away their dopamine, and then they won't even have the motivation to eat just to survive, even if the food is a few feet in front of them. So, what motivates you to go to the gym every day is your dopamine, your happiness, but obviously your discipline as well. Mice don't know discipline, mice only know survival motivation. Every time you eat food, you gain a dopamine rush, a happiness rush. So every time you think of what you could be, how good, how sexy you can be, how strong you can be, you have a dopamine rush. So that motivates you to keep on pushing, keep on trying. So you're going to want to continue, you're going to want to envision your goals and you're going to want to think about your goals all the time. And this will give you motivation and this will make you want to stay consistent in your diet, want to stay in the gym and want to never stop the gym. So you're gonna wanna have motivation of knowing the result that you're going to be looking good. You're going to be happy with yourself. I've reached there. I'm happy with my physique, and and my message to you is it's worth it, and you should keep going. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Stay consistent on your diet, and do not disappoint yourself. If you like, for example, people ask me, what workouts do I do? How do I eat? Whatever. And I tell them, and then maybe they start gymming, and then maybe on the following week I catch them cheating on their diet, for example, and stop gymming for like a while. One of the people that I know only gym for 1 day, and then the rest of the 200 and no no, he said he was going to gym he's going to start his gym journey on the beginning of a month, but he only gym for 1 day, the rest 29 days, and the rest of the 29 days didn't do anything. So what I'm trying to say is basically, wait, excuse me. What I was trying to say there is he disappointed, not, he didn't really disappoint me, he disappointed me, but the real person that he should be worried about is disappointing himself. So you're not disappointing the person that you told you're going to gym, you're disappointing yourself. So you don't want to disappoint yourself. Because your number one enemy is yourself, and you're going to feel, if you can block out whatever someone else says about you, of course, but yourself, your mind there is 24/7. You're gonna keep repeating, oh, I could have done this, I'm a failure, whatever. So don't disappoint. You're not disappointing the person that you're looking up to, you're disappointing yourself. So that's the end of the video, and I'll see you next time.